Welcome back to the Opportunity Room, the show where we sit down with true leaders, change makers, people who are turning ambition into actions. Today's guest is someone whose story bridges two powerful worlds, technology and real estate. Meet Akingbade Akinfenwa, founder and CEO of LandZille LLC and SkillWeed Academy based in McKinney, Texas. Originally from Nigeria, Akin began his journey in land surveying and geomatics, then built a 20-year career in operational technology and cybersecurity, earning a certificate in cybersecurity from Harvard University. Through LandZille, he's helping families and investors build generational wealth through land ownership, and through SkillWeed Academy, he's training the next generation of cybersecurity professionals and make it easier for people from any background to pivot, level up, and thrive in IT. Let's explore his journey from Nigeria to Texas, from cybersecurity defense to land investment, and how he's helping others do the same. Welcome to the Opportunity Room, Mr. Akin.
Thank you so much, Amadou. Thank you. Appreciate it. And thanks for amazing job you're doing. Thanks for bringing me to your platform. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is more than an opportunity for people to actually learn from your journey and make it a strategy and just level up their career and just do better for ourselves in general. So without further ado, let's start from from the beginning, right? What was your life like, growing up in Nigeria? And what
I
inspired to
mean,
actually come to the US?
thank you. So, like most of us that are immigrants, we have been sold the American dream. We've been sold opportunities, a land where you can make impossible possible. Now, it's a different conversation if that is factual, but that's the vision that has been sold. And I think historically for us in Africa, in my case, Nigeria, it's very effective to our culture in terms of the movies we watch there in American movies, the text we read there, the media we consume there. So a lot of them kind of shaped our thinking. Believe it or not, I was in Nigeria and I was a San Antonio Sports fan. Is a team in the US here in Texas in basketball. And
Right,
I was a very big fan, even from Nigeria before coming to the US. So you can
right,
imagine I was more Texan than an average Texan because I loved the sport. I had
right,
the heart. I was just excited about it. So, and over the years, even as a student in college, I would go to the library to read a lot of magazine, Time magazine, Newsweek magazine, just to know a little bit about what's coming up in the country, in the US. And so that kind of shaped my thinking. As a matter of fact, I remember my peers and colleagues in college would tell me, they give me a nickname, they tell me, hey, Akin of Texas, Akin of Hawaii. They just kind of give you some pet names because I was really, really
right,
very, I was an advent consumer of literature from the Western world then. So I think that was one of the triggers that shaped my vision. Then I also got into tech even from Nigeria, as a land surveyor. I also got into Microsoft certification. My first certification was something called MCSC for those of us in tech. So mentally, Bill Gates' signature was on everybody's, certificate, digital signature. So that
right,
alone shaped my thinking that, oh, okay, this is possible. The opportunity is there. And I was
right.
blessed with a brother that was a mentor. He got his master's, in Texas A&M. He traveled from Nigeria to do his master's. So that kind of gave me a reference point to say, definitely I'm going to go do my master's in the US or UK. Definitely. That was
Right.
and I was blessed to have parents that could support that dream at that point in time. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Now, let's do some ice breaking things here. What was your
Let's
welcome
go.
to America moment? When did you realize you're stepping into a whole new chapter now?
Okay. So in my case, a lot of people's American moment is always different, but my case, I think I started with honeymoon really because I went to a private university in Hawaii. Believe it or not, Hawaii is like people save a lot of money to go do vacation in Hawaii, Honolulu. I lived in Honolulu for like 6 months. I built
Right,
some of my best relationship and friendship there, right? So it
right,
was just amazing, really, getting to the US because culturally, Honolulu was a tourist attraction. So
right,
people are more welcoming there. We have this Aloha tagline, beautiful, beautiful culture there. So I didn't really feel much shock because they were very accommodating there. But my
right,
main shock in the US was when I moved from the island of Honolulu, Oahu,
right,
to mainland. I landed
right,
in Houston, Texas. Then I realized, oh my God, it's different. I started
Right.
by using, in Hawaii, we use this tagline, Aloha, it means peace, we love you, welcoming. In the US, in the mainland here, it's looked like the middle finger thing, right? So I got here and I was kind of doing Aloha everywhere. My brother
Right.
kind of cautioned me and said, hey, dude, you're not in Hawaii, take it easy,
Right.
okay? Then I did it to a gentleman. He was crossing the road and he looked me with this firm, stern look like, are you serious? Did you just do
Right.
that? Then I was
Right.
wondering, what did I do? I'm trying to be nice. So that was my welcome moment. Like, hey, dude, man, okay, this is different. Why is it different? It's a tourist
Right.
place. Okay, welcome to the real world. Then
Right.
I think
Right.
that was my,
That's
yeah, that
another
was my,
that's an amazing story right there, because
yeah,
I came from when I came in, I came through New York City before I went to Houston, Texas, where I have my what I was supposed to go to Texas Southern University as the welcoming university for me, but I through Brooklyn, New York, I was my welcome to America moments was so much different than yours. So you are definitely blessed to go through Hawaii first before you landed into Houston. So that was amazing. So now let's talk about a little bit about land surveying and geomatics, right? So
yeah,
obviously that's you study that in I guess it's Amadou Bello University, right, in Nigeria, right?
yes, ABU Zara,
It's
yes.
funny, right? Because obviously my first name is Amadou, right? So a lot of Nigerian, anytime I say my name is Amadou, oh, say do you know Amadou Bello University? I say, yeah, of course I heard about Amadou Bello University, but I don't know what is Amadou Bello University. So they
It's
always
amazing
tell me that.
university.
Yeah.
It's beautiful
So yeah,
university. Yeah.
so from your land surveying, did you work there doing land surveying back in Nigeria after you finished school? How did that work?
So I studied land survey first degree. I did not practice in Nigeria as a land surveyor. I did some
Okay.
internship there. I kind of, the internship worked with Ministry of Works Survey Directorate in Lagos State from an internship point of view, but I didn't practice as a land surveyor. So I did my master's, moved to the US to do my master's in geomatics, GIS. So, after doing my master's, of course, kind of deviated into tech world, got into implementation of SAP application, got into product development. So kind of build a career over time with that, then got into security, cyber, worked with some of the big four. And within my space of 25 years, served over 100 Fortune 500 companies in the process, rose to leadership across the board in all of those fields that I kind of explored as a professional. And in the journey, it's a lot of learning, especially when you are in leadership positions. You get to
Right.
be have the privilege of mentoring and helping others to elevate and grow as professionals. And up to the point, I built my own platform with my team, and yeah. But that's really the high level summary of the journey, really. Then eventually, of course, along the line, especially when I had my platform, a couple of things came to my mind. Okay, in the US, in North America, I would say we all can agree one of the easy ways to build wealth is always going to be real estate, right?
Right.
There are many tax laws that protect you owning assets, whether it's brick and mortar apartments, homes, vacation homes, or rental properties or land. There are a lot of regulations to protect you. There are incentives to make you invest. So because of that, I started exploring it. So when I got into land, I realized, wait a minute, it was a natural for me. So my
Right.
land experience kind of came to life because now I
Right.
realize, wait a minute, an average person that talks about land, the first thing you're thinking is, hold on, you're telling me this is going to be valuated at times 10 in 5 years, 7 years, whatever number. That
Right.
makes no sense because I don't see it. This is land, it's dirt.
Right.
Unlike you looking at buildings, I can easily say, okay, this is a building. So land is a vision. Land
Right.
is planting what the next generation or what your future self would do. And the
Right.
way we look at it over time was, okay, all right, don't be jumpy. Most people that are in land run away because it's just a lot of work. For
Right.
me, it's a lot of fun because I'm a land surveyor by training. By
Right.
training, I was always going to the bush, going to different much harsher condition back in
Right.
Africa, Nigeria. So yeah, in Texas, it's just like, okay, just fun. Hey, okay, deja vu, having fun. Get my truck, get my team, we go in, go look for good land based on
Right.
the right profile. And it's just fun. For me, it's just amazing. how life just tied it back together. And my land survey experience became what I'm using to help families.
Absolutely, that's brilliant. That's amazing. Let's just make this interview a two-part interview, right? So let's begin with cybersecurity and end beautifully with
Right.
land and how life comes in full circle, because that's what you
Yeah.
studied originally in Nigeria. Didn't know it's gonna catch up to you 20 years down on the line, and then you are here
Amazing.
just touching people's life in many different ways. So now, after all these years in cybersecurity, I know you started SkillWeed Academy and you just impacting many lives. What are some of the lessons you learned in leadership throughout your career altogether in cybersecurity in general?
My last role was head of delivery of a global consulting firm in cyber operation technology in North America. And I'll tell you one thing is, as a leader,
Right,
for anyone that is aspiring to grow in any field and in any profession or career, I would always tell you never quit on yourself. So, irrespective of whatever anyone says, it's not relevant. All I care is what do you believe at the end of the day.
right,
Everybody's belief is useless to me, really.
right,
I need to know what do you believe about yourself, though.
right,
What is the story? What is the narrative you believe about yourself?
right,
It's a thinking issue. The truth is, let's be honest, there's nothing any leader is doing that you cannot do. I challenge everybody here. You're all leaders already. I guarantee you, every one of us is a leader already. It's a mindset, period, nothing else. Because
right,
many times you're in the room, you're sitting with people that you respect so much and realize some of them are so dumb like you in many areas. Some of them are very smart in areas. Some of them
right,
are, they are full flaws. Some of them are tired. Some of them is the same human experience. So
right,
we're not going to deal with any imposter syndrome for you. Don't settle for any reason. And we
right,
don't shrink. I'll challenge everybody, whatever your vision, your goals are. We will make mistakes. It's a
right,
mindset, period. There's no difference. I honestly believe this with all my heart. I'm not smarter than anyone,
right,
and I don't believe anyone is smarter than me.
right,
I believe anything I want, I'll put my mind to it and I would
right,
get it. There's
right,
just, and I know sometimes you say it's the grit and resilience in, an average Nigerian. We are so resilient. And I think it's, like every other nationality, we have our fair share of issues, right?
right,
However, there's something that unites us. The grit to believe, and belief is a system, it's a mindset,
right,
and we just don't believe in quitting. That's it. It's an attribute that mixes well with the American exceptionalism illusion, however you want to call it. That okay, we have an exceptionalism mindset with grit. It's just a combination that is just amazing. So my simple advice to anyone that is, you can do it. There's nothing special in anyone.
right,
If you want it, just go for it. That's it.
right,
Do you want it? If the answer is yes, go for it. Execute. No
right,
shortcut, right? I'll
right,
tell you that. That's the only part I'll tell you, because the discipline, the fundamentals, little things,
right,
just don't mess with it. The little
right,
things I'm talking about are simple as every morning you take 10 minutes to write what you want to do and just do it. Do you
right,
want it? Do it. Nothing else.
right,
There's
right,
nobody special. And I genuinely believe this. That's the conclusion. There's nobody special. I'm not special. Not at all.
right,
You can do it. You can do it way better. That's the truth.
right,
It's
right,
a mindset. And if
right,
your mindset is just, if this is what you want, all I care, and I personally believe this is, if you tell me as a leader, you tell me this is what you want to do it. Respect your vision and do
right,
it you know and as
absolutely,
a young professional also, I'll tell you, don't shrink for anyone.
right,
Don't shrink yourself, your vision, your belief for someone else. don't
right,
don't do it.
right,
Don't shrink. If somebody does not believe in your vision or what you believe, it's okay to let them go for some time, right?
right,
That's
right,
just not the right circle at that point. They are not bad
right,
people. They just can't say.
right,
So
right,
protect your vision, hold it tight. And sometimes I'll tell you, I'll make a bold statement. Sometimes you have to hide it from very close loved ones too.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Sometimes, I mean, digest that however you want to digest it. But sometimes you might
right,
have to hold your vision, your dream from people you genuinely love for a
right,
while.
right,
If you feel energy is not matching your vision at times, you
right,
need to just protect it for that period. When everything settles, things are fine, everybody just aligns. Okay, that's fine. But at the early stage, protect the vision. Just keep it to yourself and let the work talk for you.
Right. Now, I'll definitely piggyback on what you're saying because I attended obviously one of your course on your SkillWeed Academy, right? Even being in IT for over 14 years, but I learned a great deal. But one of the things that inspired me in your training program was you always emphasize on mindset, shifting your mindset. And the day I decided to shift my mindset, it made a big difference in my career. So, and I thank you again for actually emphasizing in that particular area because you can be as talented as you are, but if you don't switch your mindset to align with what you want to be and your vision, you will spend a lot of time, but you will not move forward. So my next
Yeah.
question to you is: after so many years, what inspired you to actually start SkillWeed Academy?
So the nice thing is this: I've always mentored all my life. Really,
Okay.
it's been a life mission, and I enjoy
Okay.
it. And the
Okay.
funny thing is that I've always done it for free. I just enjoy it. It's like I love it. I love to see you succeed. That's all.
All right.
Zero
All right.
angle. I do it so late at night. I'm blessed to have a wonderful wife that really understands because people call me late, sometimes 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and
All
it's
right.
crazy. I mean, but if you have an interview coming, who am I? I'll help you prepare. It was just the joy of seeing you succeed
All
was
right.
always my passion. So over time, I realized, okay, um, there's an opportunity here in terms of making this a lifestyle and a business also.
All right.
The mindset was always, okay, you got to protect the business first, right? If I'm going to do the business, I have to know it's a business first because business is like a baby. You got to protect the baby before you can serve the community. So I treated it with a vision and a business and said, you know what? Can we have a platform where we can have more people within our community empowered with skills, not just in cyber, but any areas that I have the capacity that my platform can provide knowledge base. And they have to
All
be
right.
the best in the world in terms of top notch knowledge, in terms
All
of
right.
the most contemporaneous things happening in the world. So I have to commit to that, okay, excellence must be the key word for us. So
All right.
when we found out, okay, you know what? Oh, this is something we can actually do. So we
All right.
started a little bit. I started and said, okay, you know what? Let's pilot. We started recording, and within a short time, we saw a lot of traction. One thing I realized along the journey is as long as you take care of people, people will take care of the business side. That's not
All right.
the issue. So my focus has always been my community. I love my community so much, really. I know in the midst of it, you can't please everybody. I get that part of it,
All
but
right.
I'm so vested in excellence in the community. I want my
All right.
community to be the best in the world. Everything to make that happen. I'm going to put the work, the time, the discipline to make it happen. So that's been the mindset. And gradually we grew to over 100,000 people in our platform across
Wow.
within all over the world, really. I mean, there's no way I could have written the script. It's not possible.
All right.
I
All
mean,
right.
I couldn't I can't even imagine it. Our YouTube, as of today, is probably close to over 70,000 or something like 80,000, maybe something like
Nice.
that on our YouTube page. So you can imagine. I remember the first time I opened the YouTube, started trying to make it a business side of things.
Right.
My son, he looked at it and said, "Oh, Daddy, I'm going to be one of your first like." This is just about 3 years ago. So you can imagine the joy
Right.
I had. I like myself. I use my other account to like myself, so that I'm happy about it. Okay, now we're up to three. Woohoo! So
Right.
it's the experience, the process with the family. My wife also was always okay. Let's like it. Okay, let's like it. So it's
Right.
just so much joy when you see the experience, the process. Building gradually and over time. Within 3 years to 4 years, you have a very large platform that you can impact live. And even more importantly, you have audiences all over the world. And
Right.
I feel that's just a good contribution to the knowledge community.
Right.
Then people now find you without even a lot of people you don't even know now. In the past, it's just people you knew that were probably
Right.
trying to, but now people call you from, believe it, from China, from Ireland, from Germany, from Africa, North America, of course, Canada, US, everywhere in the world. So it's just
Right.
it went beyond our imagination, to be honest. So that's the story of SkillWeed, and we're still getting strong. Every day we keep learning. We attend a lot of conferences all over the world just to
Right.
keep learning our craft. And we have a magazine also in cybersecurity that just launched this month. So there's so
Right.
much we keep doing just to now with AI also, there's no excuse for everybody. We can
Right.
even do more and
Right.
keep empowering our community to do more and be the
Right.
best version of themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can attest to it because in one of in my classes, actually, I had people from UK and people from Africa. All of them joined to just actually level up themselves. And now, can you share one of the success stories? I know you probably have many, right? Just one or two success story from the program that you've seen so far. That was a aha moment for you. Like, wow, I'm really really impacting people now.
So one of the most beautiful stories I've seen. I love this family. I still spoke with them this weekend. They're getting some land, and was a family that migrated from Africa, right?
Okay.
Husband and wife, and I see amazing growth. Both couples both got a job. As a matter of fact, both of them actually got multiple jobs, right? So you
Nice.
can imagine the joy in the family, and not just the family. You now see the kids do
Right.
amazingly well.
Right.
You see the kids are in college now. You saw them when they came from Nigeria, and now you see the growth in the family, opportunities that has been provided. It's just a delight and joy, for this
Right.
family, for me. It was just amazing story, really. That's
Right.
one big story. And I've had other stories. I've seen people that, going through personal life challenges. And in the
Right.
midst of it, God was kind to them. They got an offer and it changed their life completely. I've seen
Right.
people that about to do weddings and
Right.
they were in need of funds to get things going. In the heat
Right.
of it, they got a job. It changed everything for them. I've seen people have the capacity to send their kids to programs that otherwise they could not have been able to afford. To me, those are things that you can't just put any price, and it's so much joy to see the impact of a program in lives. I've seen people earning $12 an hour job suddenly
Right.
start making 65, $70 an hour. So you can imagine the change in then, the change in the family chain, the children, the joy, the
Right.
flexibility. So it's just so many stories. I'm just thankful. Like we say in our community, we're just blessed to be a footnote in their
Right.
story of greatness. Just a
Right.
small, tiny footnote. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
That's great. I think we need to see more people like yourself, so we can have a larger footprint globally. Actually, many skill with academy from people that you train,
absolutely.
from people with ambition, to grow the
Yeah,
community because we need to impact and have more content from people looking like us. So sometimes
absolutely.
you learn best from when you're actually learning from people who look like you that share the same background and share history.
Absolutely.
So now let's switch a little bit now to how life have came full circle. You studying
Land survey.
land surveying in Nigeria, didn't even know that this was going to come and catch back to you in so many years. So how did how did the idea came about? Okay, now it's time to invest in land. How did that idea came?
And I'll tell you, I wish I can take credit that some brilliant idea just popped up and I just said bingo.
Right.
It's a game of it's been an evolution, right? I've always been in leadership in any area I find myself, any city. I used to live in McKinney. I was part of leadership McKinney in 2013. Then I
Right.
moved to a city, beautiful, lovely city, city of Anna. Hoo-hoo. And I'm also in the board in the city of Anna too. Amazing, beautiful city. And I've seen evolution, the development in this city. It's just a beautiful, amazing city. Amazing leadership there too. And I remember moving to the city. My wife said, "Hey, let's go to the chambers of commerce, the planning and zoning." So we went there to do our due diligence to know what's coming there. Amazing. Now, everything they told us was coming times two happened, way more than we even imagined. So it was kind of creepy that, whoa, okay. Now the question was that what am I going to do? I have no idea really. I mean, I had some knowledge, but I was not sure what's the right path.
Right.
And what I've realized is that you can talk all you want. It's all about execution. You get to move though. So in my case, I didn't move as quick as I thought I should move. But thankfully, the last 5 years changed everything. I started buying land for myself, saw a couple of opportunities to buy land. Then I started buying land for myself. Went to some cities that were like 2 hours away from Dallas. Then over time, met some good strategic partnership that I could now use to know more about cities within North Texas. My sister, she's a medical doctor. Shout out to Nikki. And she told me that, hey, bros, can you check North Texas? She's seen some research. Can you go check? Then I started getting curious around North Texas to see more. Then I started buying for myself. Then what surprised me was that assets I bought, for example, let's say you buy an asset for $9,000,
Right.
the appraised value was now almost 20 something thousand within 2 years. Then I
Wow.
said, wait a minute, what's going on here? Okay, hold on,
Right.
hold on, hold on. What's going on here? Then I think that caught my attention because that level of data was kind of overwhelming. That, wait a minute, something is crazy going on here. Of
Right.
course, that was when the Shaman infrastructure bill was passed for the chip park. So Shaman, Texas just exploded. We have the largest man-made lake in Texas in 30 years, Bodak Lake in Honey Grove. And all those places we bought assets just boom, exploded. So it changed
Wow.
everything. Then I said, okay, my partner and I said, okay, can we try to see if we can help more people? So we
Right.
piloted and bought a small acre of land. We needed 3 people. We had 10 people show interest.
Hmm.
Then we said, okay, there seems to be an opportunity there. Then we
Right.
started the project together, and the rest is history. That's how LandZille started.
So now, when you buying land, let's just break it down to a smaller.
Yeah.
Like, walk us through, if somebody like myself is interested in purchasing land, how do you help that person actually? Just
Okay.
lay out the deals, how that works out.
Okay, so let me tell you this, and let's talk as okay as families, right? This is
Okay.
in for us that moved from Africa. Land is empowerment. Most of our parents had land, so it's not new to us. We know land is powerful. A lot of our parents is one of their big asset vehicle, land, right? It's a common thing for us, especially in Africa. Nigeria is surely a big deal for us there too. Our parents own land. In the US, it's different because none of us know what the heck is land. How do I buy it? How do I get
Right.
it? I don't know. I know about house, but what is
Right.
land? So
Right.
I'm here to tell you that we have demystified that. Very simple. Number one, we make sure we buy strategic land. The first question you must ask anyone talking about land is ask them, okay, good talking point. What data point supports this investment? You must ask that, okay?
Okay.
Don't just buy land anywhere. I mean, there's so many land everywhere, but don't do that. Ask questions. What are the data points supporting this investment? I
Right.
expect you to give me data from an economic development point of view. All right, don't give me random data. Okay, I don't care about history, culture, no, no, economic development. Because at the end of
Right.
the day, you want asset that can appreciate, right? So
Right.
ask me and say, okay, guy, dude, what are the economic data pointing to this investment? I need detailed data to show growth population wise, investment, infrastructure. How is the city attracting investment in general? Those are the first foundation from a location point. It's not just location. No, yes, location, but what are the data that supports this location? Very important. Solid data, right? Because land is a vision. It's not something you will see development now. But I'll tell you what I've seen in North America. Every one of those data points, if it's been approved, it's going to happen. If it is already marked and said, okay, this is in our master plan, it always happens 99% of the time. And I've seen the trend a lot in North Texas. So it's going to happen, right? So that's number
Mhm.
one. So the data location is a big one. Number two, in Texas, where we invest, we have an ag exemption program, agricultural exemption that says if you buy about 11 acres or more, you qualify. That simply means you pay less tax. You don't want to buy land and you're paying a lot of taxes. Let me give you an example. One of our
Okay.
current project, about 150 acre. So I'm asking you to guess how much my taxes on a 150 acre. I bet most of you are guessing. Let me give you 2 seconds to guess. I think you're wrong. All right. Your guess is probably going to be 150 acre. Now, 150 acre is about the size of about easily 70 football field. Think for a second. That's a lot of, think of 70 football fields.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a lot of real estate dirt. That's
Right.
big.
That's
What if
huge.
I told you for the year, my tax is less than your rent and you're not living in Manhattan? My tax was about less than $500. Let's take it again. For the
For the whole
size of
150 acres?
70, for the old, yes, for the old 150 acres.
Wow.
Yes. Now, I know you said, wow. Now, pause. Remember again, these laws were made for the wealthy, right? Now you're
Right.
part of the mindset. It's a mindset, right? So don't forget,
Absolutely.
these are not things that are thrown to everybody, really. Yeah,
Right.
it's a different conversation, but that's the reality, right? It's a law. Let's pause. How many of us can afford 10 acres, 50 acres? It's not like we're keeping 50 acres, keeping it somewhere, right? That's a lot of dirt. So it's
Right.
designed for certain wealth class, to be honest. That's what
Right.
I've said.
Right.
So, but now we're part of it because we know it's knowledge. So your tax liability is going to be very low when you buy from us because we would help you with the agri exemption to
Right.
make sure you have minimal taxes you're paying. The
Right.
second part, which is just mind blowing right now, mind blowing. Okay. For those of us that understand depreciation, right? If you buy real estate, you can do depreciation of those real estates over time, right?
Right.
Land also has its own equivalent of it. It's crazy, I know. We have a program called Legacy Nutrient Depreciation, right?
Okay.
And it's a program that you can actually depreciate your soil, the nutrients in your soil. You can make a case that, okay, you have excess nutrient in the soil when you bought it, so I want to depreciate it over time. I know you're thinking, okay, what does that mean? This is crazy. What are you guys talking about? Okay, I'm not here to argue with the law. I'm just saying it's a provision in the tax code. I believe tax code 167, 168, then I think 180, then 611, couple of tax code that allows us to depreciate part of your land. So that means, let me give an example. If you have
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 land and we do a soil sample. We have a team that's their job. A soil sample that would say, out of your land, you have a 10-acre land you bought for 100,000. Out of that land, for 1 acre, I can depreciate. The value I've calculated is, let's say, $1,000. So technically, you have $10,000 you can depreciate over the life of you owning that land. So that means your next year you can get $10,000 tax credit that you can roll to your personal. Okay, so you have 100,000, right? Asset. But now, because I've said, okay, and we release all our land to farmers, so we maintain that for you, no big deal. We have a
Right.
lot of farmers waiting to do that. That's not a big deal for us. Okay, so now, but now you're getting tax credit. So now you're
Right.
going to pay less $10,000 to the IRS the
Right.
following year. You can
Right.
split it to 3 years, sometimes 7 years. However you want to do it, you can split it. And we'll give you the documentation once we work with these folks, and they will just give you the document. You take it to your tax attorney, and they would know what to do most of the time. We don't touch that, but you have the documentation, the sample of the soil test, all the reports. So in case you're audited, all the evidence and documents it's there that you can use to show that this is the data you have. So that's amazing. Now, again, most people don't know about that, but we offer that program in our community to make you very comfortable also in terms of, okay, you're not just buying a land that you cannot
Right.
write off. You can write off land.
Right.
Okay? You can write off land. So let me pause for any question.
No, that's amazing. Now, is that only available in Texas, or is you guys? I know you guys are focused in Texas, but is that privilege is available everywhere in U.S. land, or is it just in on Texas only?
So the legacy nutrient deduction program is all across the US, believe
Okay.
it or not. It's a US thing.
Okay.
However, because we are based in Texas at the moment, but it's a US thing. Everywhere in
Okay.
the US, something you can use, and it's under the tax code of IRS. So you can actually, it's US, everywhere in the US, you can use it.
Now, let me ask you. I know you talk about the data points when actually thinking about buying the land. One of the most important thing is just analyzing and making sense of the data points, right? But when you evaluating a land for investment, what are the key things that you look for that most people actually miss?
Okay, top on the list, the survey. You have to make sure you have the copy of the survey, right? Because it will speak a lot of volume in terms of the borderline. What are the potential issues there? You're going to check things like the road easement in general. The
Okay.
road easement is important because you're thinking and saying, now, a lot of people want to buy land. Like I said, we give you peace of mind. That's what we do, really. If you go by a land that is just without the right road easement, it's an unattractive land. People would not really, because think and say to yourself, what about if I decide I want to subdivide this land in the future for a
Right.
developer? Think from that
Right.
angle when you buy land, right? So
Right.
that's a big one. Of course, you're checking to see if it's in a flood zone, right? You're checking to see if there are potential imminent domain concern. Maybe there's a high voltage power line passing through. And nothing wrong with that if that is what you're looking for. Some people use that if they're buying data center location, right? But
Right.
if you're buying for residential, probably you don't want to do that, right? Because you're thinking, oh, this would, take some of my road or
Right.
some of my land. So you're thinking along that also, right? But those are some big heavy hitters for us. That okay, are we checking if there's a flood zone? Do we have appropriate road easement there for the land I'm buying? And I'm checking if there are potential imminent domain there issues. I'm looking at the survey. I'm checking the details sometimes also in terms of if there's a pipeline there that is
Right.
active. You have to
Right.
check all of those things. I mean, and we also speak to the neighbors around us before we buy an asset. If there are any concerns, then we have farmers that work with us also all through our process. But those are some key points I would say we look
Right.
out for. Of course, some other fundamentals are going to be universal. People might say do a soil test. We always do phase one test, ESA. And the reason we do that is one, for the purpose of the deduction program, the legacy environment, nutrient development deduction program. So we do that for that reason for sure before we buy asset. Now, sometimes we might still do the soil sampling for other reasons. Let me give an example. One of our
Okay.
assets we bought in the past, we found out the city was popular for keeping prisoners of war in the 60s. Because of that, we were kind of a little bit
Okay.
suspicious that if they kept soldiers there, were they using it for activities like shooting ranges? Were they using chemicals there? Were they detonating firearms there or anything like that? So we're kind of concerned to say, okay, do we need to let's do some testing to make sure, the soil is still good. Even though we knew the
Okay.
soil should be good because they were planting there already and they were also
Right.
using it for livestock. But despite that, we'll still go ahead and
Okay.
just go and test it. Yes.
So what happens if you want to purchase the land and you don't intend on actually leasing it out to farmers and you want to keep it yourself and maybe long term just building or just giving it to a developer?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a
Oh, yeah.
difference?
Well, I mean, let's pause. When we buy, we recommend to our community. Ultimately, you decide what you want to do. We recommend
Okay.
keep it for at least minimum of 5 years before you
Okay.
consider selling. Now, if you buy and say, you know what, I don't want to give it to a farmer. Remember again, the question is, can you maintain it? Most of us don't have time for that, really. So why do you want to waste time to maintain it yourself? 10 acres. 10 acres is a lot, or let's say 12 acres. It's like 7 football field.
Right.
I mean, except you're a full-time farmer, you can't
But
maintain
now
it.
when you say maintaining, what is expected to be done on that land while it's sitting there?
So mostly you want to make sure it's cleaned. You're
Okay.
clearing it for, if you say it's for agric or you're using it for A, it means that you're also um, making sure you're planting A there, or you have livestock there, or you are
Okay.
planting certain crops there. Now, if you don't do
Okay.
that, the challenge
Okay.
is if there's an audit, sometimes cities fly drones now. They can check your city and see if you are not using it for agric, and you
Okay.
can lose that status. And you
Okay.
don't want to lose that because the difference between you losing the status and not is quite a lot. So let's
Okay.
say what you would have paid 3,000 a year, you are paying $80.
Gotcha.
So the difference
Okay.
is quite significant. So you don't want to mess with that. So it's better you just let somebody maintain it. Now, I've had some of my customers or investors tell us that I want to actually use some of my land to farm
Right.
myself, not a lot,
Right.
maybe like 1 acre, 2 acre. If that is you, that's okay. We'll just speak to the farmers and they will work out an arrangement, keep some part for you to be doing your own farming. And sometimes you can work out an arrangement and say, hey, you can actually help me to maintain it and they would help you to do the maintenance of your own crop too as you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned obviously 5 years at a minimum, right? What
Yeah.
is it historically is 5 years the good amount of years for the land to get to gain value? Is that what it is?
The honest truth is that for most of our investment, they already gain value immediately because we buy, let's say I buy 300 acres, I subdivide. So you already come in with amazing equity already based
Okay.
on what you're getting. The reason we say 5 years is that from our data point, again,
Right.
full disclosure, we're not financial advisors. We're just telling you what we've seen as a trend is
Right.
generally within that time, there's a lot of development and infrastructure built going on right now. By that
Okay.
time, everything would have been fully built. Then,
Okay.
one of the big cities we are in is in Gainesville, Texas. And why we're in Gainesville is there's a city called Sherman, Texas, amazing city right now, benefiting from $50 billion investment. So because of
Right.
that, every surrounding city is just exploding. So that's the
Right.
main catch around it. So yeah, it's a big one out there for us. So every infrastructure there is just expanding, expanding. So there's so much built right now. So you can
Right.
imagine if if you wait the next 3 years when everything is fully built, it
Right.
changes the game.
Right.
Infrastructure is fully built. There's access to so many roads. As a matter of fact, the state of Texas is proposing building a loop around the city right now as we speak. So just a
Nice.
lot going on.
Nice. Nice. Now, give us a price point for people who are interested in actually watching. I'm sure I'll give your contact information
Yeah.
as well for people who want to reach out to you directly and learn more about this opportunity. But just to give a ballpark of people who want to actually listening and will be listening to the recording, a ballpark.
Yeah.
Are they going to pay that cash, or is this going to be through investment? How does it work?
So everything we do is going through the bank. It's financing. Most of the bank would we sell minimum of 12, 13 acres. The city right now, Gainesville, land is going for 1 acre for over 40,000 if you buy 1 acre alone. But for
Okay.
us, we sell minimum of 13, 12 to 13 acres really at the moment. And
Okay.
it's financed. Most of the bank would have you pay 20% down payment. Then
Okay.
for the current project we are working on is within the range of 17.5 to 18.5 per acre. So you'll be
Okay.
expected to buy a minimum of 12 acres. So that means maybe for 12 acres, maybe 200,000 or 190,000, something
Okay.
like that. Then
Okay.
the bank will finance it and we would expect you to hold it for at least 5 years. Then the other thing is
Okay.
that we have builders that work with us. Most of these builders, our current project, we have two builders already that bought with us, right? So
Okay.
that means when they're about to build, they will likely approach some of us to actually, if you want to sell to them too, which is a good thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is amazing information. I guess we cannot
Sure.
break everything down during this interview session,
Absolutely.
but I'll add your contact information as well as the website for people who want to actually get more information regarding because this is really, really a time to invest, and our community need to acquire more land and just think about the next generation as well. 5 year is not a long term for you to
Yeah,
actually see some return on investment. So I think they people need to reach out. I'll be the first to actually fly to Texas and just get together
let's
with you
go.
to learn more
Awesome.
about this. So now,
Absolutely.
when we're looking at both LandZille and or SkillWeed Academy, they are both transformation. One building digital security, and the other one just, I guess, generation wealth. What is the common thread between those two? Why are you interested in those two domains? Is it
I
natural
think
or
the first one is the legacy to help with the human capital development.
okay?
At the end of the day, all of us, we want to do better, grow. But at certain point, when you have the capacity, the capital to at least start is a foundation. But more importantly, we have to think legacy and say, what are the things that we can really do to build wealth in this town? I'll tell you
Right,
this really. It's, men lie, women lie, all of us can lie. Data would not lie, right? Because the data point is too compelling. I mean,
right,
and do your research, it's not just me saying it. If you had bought a home in a place called McKinney in Texas
right,
today, let's say 300,000, 15 years ago,
right,
amazing investment. Your $300,000 home would be probably 700,000. That is awesome. Yee awesome
right.
deal. Now guess what? 15 years ago, you would have bought 20 acres for that 300,000 in McKinney. Guess how much an acre is going for in McKinney today? It's going for over 250,000. So your 20 acre would have been $5 million minimum sitting in your
Wow.
account. So Again, we are not financial advisor. We're just giving you data point, right?
Right.
I'm just telling
Right.
you this is what we've seen. So you can imagine
Right.
somebody holding that. That is it's just a game changer, really. So
Absolutely.
that's the power of land. And this is not my information. Do your research, check it, and you see the way land appreciates, especially in areas where the data support it. If
Right.
there's $50 billion coming somewhere, it's a no-brainer. We know it's going to be a very serious investment at that point in time. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, being a thought leader in cybersecurity and doing, you're an expert in governance, risk, and compliance.
yeah.
So, is minimizing and assessing risk has helped you also in this business venture?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there's a lot of risk management too. We work
Right,
out of deals a lot. If I look at the deal and I say, oh, you know what? It's a potential pitfall for my community later and myself. And all
right,
our investment that we have, we must keep. So we have a skin in the game. I'm not just saying, oh, no, we are investors too. We keep for
right.
ourselves because we believe in that location too. So, we
Absolutely.
have a skin in the game, all our investment. Yeah.
Now, give me a long-term vision for LandZille and SkillWeed that you have for those two program that you have.
So the vision is simple for us. At the end of the day, for the next 3 years, we want over 200 families, have a solid legacy in terms of land investment. So in 5 years, 1,000 families within our community to be millionaire track. That's our vision, really. So, it's a lot of work, but it can change the game for us big time. Legacy, change our family livelihood, everything within a short time. And I've seen this happen within some community. You can check it out. Frisco, Prosper. Our Indian brothers have done amazingly well in terms of being strategic. They've done so brilliantly well. Google it. Those places
Right,
now, 1 acre is going for 500,000. But they saw the vision a long time. They started
right,
investing there in the last 20 years. And, these are things we saw. These are
right,
my great friends and people that are part of our, my ecosystem of professionals. So
right,
I've
right.
seen amazing transformation there too.
All right, that's amazing. Um, you often talk about land as tool of generational wealth, right? What
Yeah.
does that mean to you personally as a husband, father, and entrepreneur? What does that mean?
I mean, let me tell you a story, real life. All right. So, one of the exciting things I would say is in terms of legacy, right?
Right.
I had a story that kind of was very touching to me that I said, you know what, this is so profound. So, myself, my partners were looking for a land deal. So, this gentleman, white man, amazing guy, was showing me around about 500 acres of land, right?
Hmm.
And in the midst of showing me around, he took a Sharpie after we drove in his UV truck, the trucks that you kind of wiggle around farms. And he took a Sharpie and drew a circle around 100 acres. And he said, Akin, yeah, I will sell this one, but this one I'm not selling. It's for my son and his family. 100 acres.
Hmm.
It was so symbolic to me because in my mind I was just saying, oh my God,
Right.
somebody is saying, don't touch this 100 acres for my son and the family. Oh my God. Oh,
Right. Right.
it's such an, I mean, for real, it was just symbolic in my mind.
Absolutely.
It edged in my mind that expression that, oh,
Right.
a map. I said, oh, no, I'm not selling this one. It's for my son and the wife. Now, let me put it in perspective. This is the
Right.
location. You're gifting a son 100 acres. Is a location that has the largest man-made lake in Texas in 30 years.
Mhm.
Land near that area, Honey Grove, is already going for 500,000 an acre. You can
Wow.
Google Honey Grove, Texas. So the lake is Bodak Lake. So it's insane when you see
Right.
something like that. It's so symbolic in your memory that you can't just let it go.
Right.
That is legacy there. How can that family gifted lack? It will be
Right.
hard. 100 acres, it's insane
Yep.
for you to give someone.
Right.
I'm talking of an area that an average acre is going for 30,000 plus, right?
Right.
So somebody's gifting you, and that's just now. Imagine in the next 4 years, 5 years, it's probably going to be going for 100,000 per acre.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? So that is crazy. That is wealth.
Right.
Land is wealth. So I challenge our community. This is not a time to second guess. Let me tell you
Right.
another story. Hopefully, it makes us think a little bit.
Right.
My surveyor, amazing guy, white guy also.
Right.
He told me a story that was really memorable to me. He said, Aiken, some years ago, a gentleman of Indian origin came here and I was helping him. And he used a kind of credit card from American Express. I don't know the kind of credit card.
Right.
And he bought hundreds of acres for like $6,000 an acre. He used this credit card. And he told me that at that point, they were looking at him like a sucker that, who does that? How would
Right.
you? I mean, that's crazy. Why would you use
Right.
a credit card to buy land? That's madness.
Right.
Then he looked at me and said, Akin, that guy feels like he's the smartest guy on earth right now, from what I'm saying. Because that same location is going for like 35,000 an acre as I
Oh,
speak.
oh
So
my
you can
God.
imagine this all happened like 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
Right.
when the guy
Right.
bought it then.
Right.
So but anyway, the point I'm saying is land is one of those investment. Number one is going nowhere. A lot of people edge it against you know inflation, and because it's always growing, the risk is minimal, especially if you have ag exemption in it. The
Right.
maintenance is non-existent. And now with the legacy nutrient program, it's even a different ball game because now you can even get some tax write-off on your land,
Right.
which is just amazing right now.
Right.
So for us, and I tell our community, there's no void.
Right.
If you're not getting it, somebody else is getting it.
Absolutely.
There's no in between that. Oh well, I'll take my time and wait. It's okay. You can wait and chill. That's okay.
Right.
But other
Right.
communities are getting it. That's the reality. Now,
Right.
when we
Right.
wake up in the next 10 years or 5 years, and God keeps us all alive and thankful, and you now realize, oh, these guys they own everything. Don't
Right.
complain. We all
Right.
had our chance. No complaint.
Right.
You can't. No,
Absolutely.
no, we're not going to do that. So it's time to execute for our community because it's enough of talking. And
Right.
after some time, I don't know about you all, when you
Right.
start looking at the mirror and you see white, you realize that, oh my God,
Right.
this
Time
is
is
it
flying.
for,
Right.
well,
Right.
this
Right.
is it. It's not like you have a lot of mileage to do this again.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
anyway, yeah. So,
And
but
we'll
that's my
definitely have
story.
this podcast as a testimony for you, this conversation, because this will live in
Exactly.
YouTube, right? So you
Yes.
said it. So people, this is an urgent call for people to actually get up and invest,
It's,
not only for them, but just for the next generation. We have to rewrite history, man.
I love it.
Just change how we see life. Just living on a day to day. All this money, disposable income that we have, sitting on a saving account doesn't do us any good, right? Just
Yes.
just just invest for the next generation because the
I
average
love
return
it.
on is like 6% on not like it's not even on regular saving. It's like 0.3, but if you have the high yield saving, it's probably 6%. So
Yeah.
that's the max you get out of it. But yeah, this is a great conversation, and I'm really glad that we do have this conversation. So let's just talk about something so people can get to know you. My last
Sure.
interview, I asked this guy, this doctor, he's originally from Nigeria, very bright
Yeah.
also, Dr. Fatuyi. Shout out to him. Uh, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have a podcast a day where I'll have to invite you back, invite Dr.
Absolutely.
Fatui, and there was another doctor also from Nigeria where we'll do a panel and trying to break down this Nigerian grit. Where does it come from, and where does it take us? Because you guys are amazing. You definitely put Africa on the map, whether people like it or not. I'm saying it right now. Nigeria put Africa on the map as far as when you go to UK, when you come to America, they just put their fingerprint all over us. Shout out to you guys for leading that. So one
Thank
book
you very
that
much.
completely changed how you think about success. If you're a reader or audiobook listener, is there a book that completely changed how you think about success?
I think for me, there's a book called The Secret,
Okay.
and you can check it out. Rhonda Rhimes, I believe. And it's a game changer book because, and the other one I think I like a lot is Sapien.
Okay.
Amazing, amazing, amazing book also.
I have
You
that.
know,
Haven't read it yet. I have the
yeah,
Sapiens book,
eh,
but I haven't read it
yeah.
yet.
Sapien is also good because, and sometimes it's just the way I look at it is many times, right? You just have to the way you can increase your capacity.
Right.
Anyone on this call, it's easy to think this is not you. You can transform you.
Right.
The way you can transform you is we all need help. Nobody can do this alone.
Right.
You need a mentor.
Right.
Mentorship doesn't mean I physically see you.
Right.
There are books that can shape your thinking,
I
and
agree.
you're going to be consistent. There are many tools out there now. You're doing
Right.
live, you're working, you're just listening to them. I use
Right.
something called Blink. All right,
Okay.
Blink is so you can
Okay.
use that. And what it does is that in 15 minutes to summarize a book. And the mindset I have is I just want to get idea from one book, just
Right.
one idea. I'm not interested in. I'm not wasting energy to
Right.
say, oh, I want to learn everything. No, no, no. It's
Right.
too much pressure. All I
Right.
look for is every day I need one idea.
Right.
So I take a walk a lot. Every day I try to do 5 miles walks, right? So
Right.
every day I'll just say, okay, I'm taking a walk, I'll do my blinkist, and I'll just get one idea. That's all.
Right.
But guess what? Many times I'll probably get one or two ideas.
Right.
Sometimes I may have a horrible day. I don't even know what the heck the book is talking about. Okay, whatever. I'll say,
Right.
well, maybe I just don't know. I don't know. But many times you get one idea. But guess what?
Right.
Imagine having one idea every day for 365 days. And we all say one idea can change my world. So imagine having so much ideas. Then what will happen is that subconsciously it starts transforming you. I
Absolutely.
can't explain this. When you start reading, like I said, some people like to take the paper, but because sometimes our lives can be busy, I like
Right.
audiobooks. If your mindset is every day just get one idea
Right.
that you can actionize, it might be learning how to keep quiet, learning how to take care of your temperament, whatever it
Right.
is, just take
Right.
one and
Right.
use it that day. Be
Absolutely.
intentional to use it. It
Absolutely.
changes our lives forever. So those are two books I that comes from. The Secret is one of those. If you can Google it this night
Right.
or whatever, whenever you're looking at this,
Right.
just check it out. It's an amazing book. The bottom line is it covers things like the law of attraction. What do you believe? What are you thinking of? It's just an amazing book. So that book I think was one of my. It's a good trigger. Anytime I feel I need to reboot my thinking, I
Right.
always like to go to The Secret again. It's just an amazing book. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So now, Senegalese jollof rice, Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof rice.
Okay. Don't get me into trouble now for all the audience.
Be
I'll say
objective
I like.
now. Be objective.
I would say, what do you expect me to say, bro? Huh? You don't want me to be able to go back to my village?
You know
Huh?
what? Dr.
Well,
Fatou said Senegalese. He said by far Senegalese jollof rice. So I
jollof
just
rice.
want to get your
Okay.
take on that.
Okay. So I mean, I'll be transparent. I don't think I've eaten Senegalese jollof
Or
rice.
you haven't? Oh, I'm gonna have you test that. I
Okay.
will
So,
I will come to
may-
Texas just for that.
okay. Okay. Maybe that will give me a better picture to say. Maybe when I come to the group panel, I will come out and say, okay, you know what? Senegalese at this point, I don't know. But for now, definitely I have to go with Nigeria jollof rice.
You
Sorry
stick with
for
Nigerian for now.
I have to stick with my Nigerian yellow fries, or else I'll not be able to go back to my village. They'll be waiting for me. That dude, what did you say in that panel?
Right, right.
But let me
Well,
taste it, then I'll come back and say, oh, you know what?
I'll
I
definitely
think
make
Amadu
it
was right.
a
Uh,
one bird that killed two sons. I'll come to talk to you about the LandZille
the land,
opportunity, and as well I'll get you to test that Senegalese jollof rice at the
absolutely,
same time. But
absolutely.
I can thank you for the conversation. We like to keep our podcast 1 hour. If it need be, we'll bring you for second part two of this interview. There was a lot of good information that you shared today about leadership, about mindset, about investing, and just changing our whole mindset about generation wealth and how we see land, the difference between just buying a house and just buying a land, all of those opportunities. And we'll add all of those links and your contact information along in this podcast for
Thank
people
you,
to reach out to you for more information. But what an incredible conversation. Your journey is amazing, man, from Nigeria to Texas. And sometimes you study something not knowing that this may be part of your destiny, right? You studied surveying, didn't know that it's going to come 20 years down the line, be very
yeah,
useful, and just
yeah.
just how you're impacting life through that. So one last word that you have for our audience, and we'll let you get back to your normal life.
Thank you so much. All I'll say is that impossible is nothing. Don't settle and don't shrink for anybody. And for everybody, especially for us in North Texas or in North America, um, land investment is a life changer for our family and legacy. Don't let the opportunity slip. I wish you Godspeed, guys and ladies.
Absolutely. Thank you again. If this journey inspire you, make sure you subscribe, share, and leave a review. I'm Amadou Cole in the Opportunity Room, and everywhere, every story is a strategy, and every opportunity begin with the conversation. So thank you again, Akin, for this opportunity. We
Shout
let you
out to
get back.
Amadu. Awesome job,
Absolutely.
brother. Awesome.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank
awesome.
you.
You're awesome, bro.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care, man. We see you.
Thank you, sir. All right.
All right. Bye.